the station, and number 12 is on the road. Number 10 at the station, and number 12 is on the road. Well, I'm sitting here wondering, wonder where my baby goes. Every morning, every evening, oh, I could hear that whistle blow. Every morning, every evening, oh, I could hear that whistle blow. Sometimes I feel like leaving, but I don't know where to go. Play why now? Engineer blow the whistle, and a fireman, he rang the bell. Engineer blow the whistle, and a fireman, he rang the bell. Well, that's my baby, saying her last farewell. So you just heard me play. Number 10 is at the station, and number 12, well, he's still on the road. You'll have to wait for that one. And it's a song by Arthur Guitar Kelley. And if you're interested in knowing more about him, please do open the video description below. I tapped out the song, the introduction, the first verse, the second verse, and the two solos. The only thing that's not tapped out is the last verse, which is exactly the same as the first verse. So you got it all in the tab there. If you're interested in a tab, open the video description below. It's part of my monster tablature pack at a very, very, well, ridiculous price, I should say. I'm in standard tuning, but tuned a full step down. So this is a D, a G, a C, F, A, D. So same intervals as standard tuning, but a full step down. Here's my E chord, and of course, although this sounds like a D chord, I'm going to call it an E chord, the A chord, the B7 chord, just 3 chord song. So, well, I recorded it with a, well, electrified with this pickup here, as Guitar Kelley did it, but this is completely acoustic played, so you can understand and hear everything much clearer that way. Okay, let's start with introduction. So, bending on the 5th fret 1st string, going down, releasing, and triplet, triplet, triplet. And a bass run. This is 1 beat. So 1 and 2 beats. First and second beat of the second measure. I'm playing it in, with a swing feel, so every beat is divided in 3, you should say. And although in the tab I didn't write it like that, because, well, it complicates things. So, second bar, all with the temp, and bar 3. Going to the B7 there. Pull off. Number 10 at the station. And number 12 is on the road. So we're starting. We had that in the 5th bar, it's a 5 beat measure. Number 10 at the station. And this is the strange thing about Arthur guitar Kelley, and he does it always in his slower songs. Normally you would sing the first line and then do a fill. He does a fill in between the words of the first line, which is kind of odd, but it really works. Notice that little mute on the first. I mute with my picking finger. Gives you some well, rhythmic feel there, a bit of swing feel. Number 10 at the station. And number 12 is on the road. Well, we have that fill. And the song has that sort of rhythmic feel. Those double basses in between, not always on the same spot, but there to enhance the swing feel. And in the 7th measure, he does what Lyon Hopkins always does. At the end of a phrase, he does that E on the 4th string. On the road, see the road. And that's the signature lick of the song. And you can do that hammer on either with your pinky, which is just, well, in place already, or your 3rd finger, your choice. E7. Number 12's at the station. And number 12 is on the road. Interesting thing is, and Lyon Hopkins does that always, going to the 4 chord, the A7, for just 1 bar, and there's hardly any singing above it. Just the word station. And then he returns to E. Well, you could say the E is of course part of an A, but it helps with the singing. Number 12 at the station, and number 12 is on the road. If you stay in that A7, it's hard to sing lower. Number 10 at the station, and number 12 is on the road. It's much easier to sing that way. And I think that's the reason why Lightning does it so much. So we had bar 10 on the road, again with that E on the 4th string. And then we have in bar 11 again our the mute. Well, I'm sitting here wondering, wonder where my baby goes. All right, let's do it one more time because it's such a nice song. Starting with the B7 in bar 3. Number 10 at the station, and number 12 is on the road. Number 10 at the station, and number 12 is on the road. Well, I'm sitting here wondering, wonder where my baby goes. Notice with the B7 in bar 13, that double bass there. And also at the end, going for just a beat to the A, and then again back to the E. So the second verse, the singing starts already in the 16th bar. And I start with bar 15. Every morning, every evening, oh, I could hear that whistle blow. So the singing starts on the open strings, the open 2nd and the open 4th string. So bar 16 one more time. B7, oh, sorry. Every morning, every evening, every morning, every evening, every and every. So, and then we have a fill, like you did before, in between the first sentence. 7th fret, 8th fret, and bending. And that's also something he does often. Again, that even when he's not singing. So, and then the 18th bar, and that's something I, well, added, well, not added. Oh, I can hear that whistle blow. The guitar follows the vocals. I really like that. Oh, I could hear that whistle blow. Notice that the bass is often the monotonic bass, of course, but the country blues bass. So open and then muted to get real division between the beats. And when you do a double bass, the first one rings longer than the second one. So, we were at bar 19, where we're going to do our signature lick. but with a slight difference. Instead of going, now we're going. There's a bit delay between these first two beats. If you compare it in the tab, you'll notice the difference immediately. And then bar 20. Every morning, every evening, oh, I could hear that whistle blow. So again, we're doing all the singing preceding the A7, the 4 chords. Just evening is on the A7. So one more time, bar 20. Every morning, every evening, oh, I could hear that whistle blow. Sometimes I feel like leaving, but I don't know where to go. And that's a solo. So I think it's pretty much the same as in verse 1. Maybe a little different in the B7 there. So, and we had not a signature lick, but after I could hear that whistle blow in bar 23, you can do 2 slides or not. Sometimes I feel like leaving, double bass, but I don't know where to go. It's important to, when you see a single bass, to really let it ring the full beat. Because, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. It's a B7, but I don't bother to fret it, I just keep my E. And notice the muting again. Sorry. So the solo, in bar 28 we have that B7, and then we're sliding up to the 8th fret and bending it, and I'm playing that with a temp, except when you see a lonely E note there. So temp, index or middle, and again his signature lick there, the 2 E's. One more time. One more time, really slow. Open and then the full A chord. Bend and mute. Okay, one more time that A7 section. Here we go. Notice in the tab you will see, well, I'm going to play it literally. But what I'm doing is, you hear that second string also ringing, but not prominent. I'm not picking it like that. It's just because I'm hitting hard enough that the second and maybe the third also rings. So I don't put that in the tab, because if I put that in the tab, there will people play it like that and give each note equal volume, which is not really, well, the purpose. Signaturely. Now, bar 35 down. Notice the muting. I'm with my picking finger. The first time when I played a B7 there. It's a little story that you tell, so it's not just a bunch of notes, but a little story. And the A7. Engineer blow the whistle. And the fireman, he rang the bell. Engineer blow the whistle. And the fireman, he rang the bell. Well, that's my baby, saying her last farewell. So that's the verse that is not transcribed, but it's exactly the same as the first verse, as you probably noticed, I hope. Alright, then we have a going out solo, and you can do two things. I can't remember what I did in the performance. So in the second verse, where we're saying, well, that's my baby, saying her last farewell. Notice that I'm really taking care, and sometimes I will add or subtract a note, that my singing is in, well, in meter, as they call it, in sync with the guitar. And I think the last saying her last farewell is a good example there. Saying her last farewell. See? And then you can do either. So if you want to do it like it's tapped out and play the 16 measure, you just have to change the last note, where we play the open 4th string in the open B string, 2nd string, which starts at bar 40. That's a pickup note. Okay, I'll play the going out solo slowly. So with that pickup note, slide to the 9th fret, a partial E chord there, 3 triplets, and then that will take a while to get. So that's on the beat, off beat, and on the beat. The last beat of bar 41 and the first of bar 42. Same thing. Going to the A, and you can bend slightly. Signature lick. And well, just a slight variation. Bar 46, you will see the last note instead of 4th fret 3rd string. I'm playing it open. You can do that in the previous signature licks as well, of course. Typical Line and Hopkins thing. So on the beat is, and you can play either a triplet there, the 2nd beat, and B7. And I didn't play a triplet in that 2nd beat. And that bend to the 4th fret, that's slide to the 4th fret and subsequent bend. The bend is just high enough to get that E, not higher. Don't do that like that. So you get unison, but almost, and that makes it interesting. Notice the muting. So that's it for number 10 at the station, and I guess number 12 is still on the roads. Have fun!